Two lines. What if the next XRP Sprint makes the 2017 Moonshot look like a jog in flip-flops? And what if that sprint is already lacing up right under our noses? So, picture me last night, hunched over a half-finished cup of cold coffee, while the crypto charts on my monitor looked like an EKG for a hummingbird. Now, every red and green candle was screaming for attention, but one curve kind of kept nagging at me, the long-term exponential moving average on XRP. Now, if you've ever tried to ignore a kind of squeaky shopping cart wheel, you know the feeling. It's kind of mind torture. Now, that EMA is that wheel, and analyst EGRAG Crypto just kind of grabbed the handle. Now, gave it a bit of a dramatic spin and said, folks, this could roll us straight to $9 or even 37. Now, those numbers, they hit harder than an espresso. $9 is basically a 4.5 times jump from the kind of 227 print the day, that we've kind of got here. Now, the article kind of dropped on July 6th, of course. This is a little bit of a pre-record, and $37. Well, that's a 16x rocket ride. Now, I couldn't help but flash back to December 2017 when XRP went from couch change to college fund territory in what kind of felt like a single blink, about 2,000% in a few weeks. Now, I was new, green, starry-eyed, and yes, I sold way too early, but that was right before, of course, all of those wonderful real fireworks went off. Talk about the crypto version of leaving the concert before the encore. Lesson learned. Fast forward to 2021, different cycle, same mischief then. XRP pops 455%, stutters at $1.96, and I tell myself, hey, at least you rode more of the roller coaster this time, but disciplined? Nah. I was holding on like a kid, gripping cotton candy while the wind tried to rip it from my hands. Now, EGRAG's research kind of plots those two wild rides on the very same track. And guess what? We just finished the retest on that EMA again this April. Déjà-Vu alarms ringing, anyone? Absolutely. I can almost hear you guys asking though, why should we believe the pattern repeats? And it's usually because markets love old habits. It's kind of like my buddy who still buys CDs in 2025. Some behaviors are just hard to die. Right. EGRAG's kind of chart, it shows that each time XRP taps that EMA pillow, it bounces like it's just hit a trampoline made of rocket fuel. So the first time was 2,000%, the second time 455%, third time, well, the mathematician in me says past performance guarantees absolutely nothing. So the storyteller in me says that patterns are bedtime stories that markets tell themselves, and stories can move people and prices. But let's talk about the challenge, right? The blockchain circus, it never settles down. There's regulatory fog, lawsuits, echo chambers, and fear-mongering tweets every 5 minutes. We've got holders biting nails waiting for Ripple partnership headlines, or for a US ETF to finally put XRP into grandma's retirement account. Meanwhile, of course, the volatility makes a jalapeno look tame. Now, how do you cling to conviction when your phone pings price down 14% the same day that your barber boasts that he just doubled his stack? Reality check then. Data helps, of course. Now, EGRAG's conservative scenario puts that 455% move as a bit of a template, an upside target of $9.50. Let's break it down then, right? If you enter at the kind of recent $2 range, that's, life-changing ROI for a lot of people. That figure, it isn't magic though, right? It's just history rhyming. The aggressive scenario, well, that's kind of where we channel 2017's 2,000% blow off top towards $37.50. Now, the financial kind of, equivalent is wild, but it kind of roots in one idea. When bullish momentum breaks the dam, money floods in from the sideline skeptics faster than you can say fear of missing out. Naturally, I had to park my own what if drill. I pulled up Kraken Pro, shout out to them since the link in the description is an affiliate link that supports this channel and keeps my coffee budget alive. And I plotted the 21-week EMA crossing the 33-week simple moving average SMA. Now EGRAG says that crossover, projected around September of 2025, is historically when XRP roars like a motorbike in a quiet library. Now, if you've used Kraken Pro's chart tools, seriously, slick interface by the way, you'll see those lines creeping towards each other like two teenagers at the first movie dance. Now, you know that something is about to happen. It's just a matter of who makes the first move, price or sentiment. Now, I wanted extra perspective, so I hopped into our free educational Discord server. The link is down below. It's totally free, zero gatekeeping, and I asked the Night Owls the following. Who here actually kind of held through both previous cycles. One veteran named Ledger Legend confessed that he still keeps a printed screenshot of the 2017 weekly chart in his wallet like a baby photo. Now he said it reminds him that hodling and holding is not passive. It's an endurance sport. Another user, FOMO Spartans, admitted that they bought their kind of 2021 top, rage quit at $1, then rebought last month at $2.20 because, in their words, I'm just a glutton. I can talk today. I'm just a glutton for punishment. But, smarter this time around. And I have to say, aren't we all? So while we debate here, here's a metaphor that popped into my head. XRP's price cycles are like seasons in Games of Thrones, right? Every so often, winter doesn't just come, it slaps you silly. Now, then spring will arrive with kind of shocking speed, right? Swords raised, armies are charging, and you realize that you either forfeited your castle or you're stuck outside the walls, begging for scraps. Now, in 2017, many of us, they didn't even have a castle. We had tents, and in 2021, at least we had cabins, right? For 2025, I hope you're building stone fortresses, and maybe even a moat, because if that $37 target sneaks into reality, you're going to want to defend your gains with your own worst impulses. Now, this might just shock you, but I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video today is financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, and you could lose all of the money that you invest. You should always do your own research and consult a qualified professional. Your investments are entirely your responsibility, and you should know that nothing in investing is ever guaranteed. And, neither I, this channel, nor YouTube are liable for any losses. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Whew, well, now that's all the grown-up talk is out of the way. Let's kind of peek at the timing then. Right, EGRAG kind of pins September 2025, that is, as the kind of possible ignition point because of that EMA SMA crossover. But remember, markets are jealous lovers. They do what they want when you least expect it. So think of September as the start of a hurricane season. Storms can arrive early or late, but smart folk check their shelters in advance. Now, I'm already kind of testing small ladder orders on Kraken Pro. Again, the affiliate link down below. Thanks for keeping the lights on, of course. And I'm setting alerts on my phone so that, it doesn't wait until a 50% move to kind of wake me up. Now, stats matter, but psychology wins wars. Now, the article reminds us that during blow-off phases, price moves faster than YouTube loads the comments section. So in 2017, XRP jumped 70% in a single day. In 2021, 25% intraday spikes felt routine. So if we see a move from $2 to $4 overnight, expect media headlines, TikTok hype, uncle at Thanksgiving questions, and yes, scammers selling exclusive VIP signals, or they'll double your XRP if you send it to them first. Scammers be scammers. Now, that's the moment that when you either practice the discipline that we spoke about earlier, or the discipline and patience that EGRAG preaches, Stick to your plan, set realistic targets, or you kind of chase candles like Wall-E. That's the coyote, of course. Sprinting off a cliff, nobody wants that. Personally, my plan is to kind of split everything into thirds. One part rides the conservative track to $9.50, that's mortgage principal money. Another part of the kind of moon bag is sealed for that metaphorical kind of time capsule labeled open only if $37 happens. And the last part is just pure trading stack, right? I'll trim small profits on the way up to keep emotions in check. Because nothing feels safer than playing with house money. This isn't exactly sophisticated wizardry, it's just emotional insurance. Remember, greed turns paper profits into vapor profits. Now, the narrative, or at least about the narrative kind of climax here, you got to picture this. It's late September. The EMA crossover flashes green on every crypto influencer's thumbnails, and XRP punches through $5 like it's shedding wet tissue. Now, social feeds explode, price trackers melt, and you, the calm, prepared viewer, adjusts your stop loss in Kraken Pro with a bit of a smirk, because you mapped this scenario out months earlier. Now the surge continues, touches $8.90, stalls, shakes out some weak hands, then rips past $10 in an after-hours candle that still hasn't made sense in any textbook. Now crypto Twitter would erupt with streamers and, we told you kind of memes. You're just there sipping iced tea, half smiling, because your moat, those kind of preset sell orders, and that Discord brain trust hold strong. But let's not kid ourselves either. Even if the price prints $37, it won't ring a bell at the top. Blow-offs end with euphoria morphs, or at least when euphoria morphs, into televised skepticism. That's usually when my dentist asked if he should get some XRP, and that usually is right before drilling a cavity, of course. It's a true story. In 2017, a cab driver bragged to me that he had quadrupled his Ripple bag. I sold the next morning. I missed 80% of the final pop, but dodged the 90% crash. Gut instinct plus a random taxi ride saved my sanity. Point? Signs to Mania can be your exit bell. So, where does that leave us today? Well, at a bit of a crossroads. EGRAG's framework is a map, not a GPS with turn-by-turn signals, right? You still steer the wheel. You need to use tools, chart overlays, moving averages, fundamental headlines to check the coordinates. You should use the community, the Discord family down below, right, to kind of share intel and memes, because isolated kind of breeds panic ultimately. And you're going to use discipline, price targets, timed reevaluations to keep hype from handcuffing your strategy. Now, summing up the key takeaways, like we're kind of swapping stories over shawarma, I should say. Now, one, right, is the EMA retest in April kind of lines up eerily with past mega rallies. Two, the conservative math suggests $9.50. Ambitious math whispers $37.50. Now, three, we've got to watch that September crossover like a hawk wearing night vision goggles. And four, plan your exits now, right? When the adrenaline maxes out, okay, that is not a good time. Now, five, humor, it actually helps, because if you can't laugh at crypto turbulence, you'll end up crying into your keyboard. So, if today's adventure lit a spark, smash that subscribe so that you don't miss the next chapter of this roller coaster. We've got front row seats saved just for you.